And we welcome you to an Eastern Conference matchup between the New York Red Bulls and Chicago Fire. Both teams in a playoff position right now. The Red Bulls at 4th in the East and the Chicago Fire at 6th in the East at 37 points. As we come to you from Montclair, New Jersey, where the Red Bulls first team last night hosted Messi and Inter Miami. So a very big week for the New York Red Bulls organization. As we take a look at those Eastern Conference standings, Chicago and Orlando are tied in points, but Chicago is behind Orlando due to its regulation wins being 3 less than Orlando's. Here's a look at the Western Conference standings. Colorado Rapids have clinched a spot. They've been the team to beat in the West all year, while Austin's been really hard to score on. That's been the frequent trend in the West. The Red Bulls with some big reinforcements from the Red Bulls 1 team. A couple of guys in this Red Bulls lineup played just last night against Messi's Inter Miami, and they are in the lineup for Red Bulls tonight. That would be Jorge Cabezas, also known as Hurtado there at the top of your screen, and Wiki Carmona played 6 minutes last night. And for Chicago, a team that is red hot right now, first in the league in expected goals. They're 3-1-5 with 4 shootout wins since July. MLS Next Pro action from Montclair, New Jersey, the home of New York Red Bulls 2. Chicago Fire 2, the visitor at 8-7-9, with 4 shootout wins on the year, 6th in the East. Red Bulls in the red and the Chicago Fire in the white. It's the second matchup between these two teams this year after a 0-0 draw in their first matchup, which the Red Bulls won 3-0 in PKs. The Red Bulls are 7-4-1 at MSU Soccer Park. Miha, formerly known as Mihalo Miskovic, is the keeper for Chicago, while Will Meyer between the pipes for the Red Bulls. Red Bulls' 28 goals allowed is the fewest in the Eastern Conference. Chicago's a returning team to the league. The Red Bulls in their first season of MLS Next Pro action. Sergio Arrejel. There's Monis, who's been red hot, 38 in the white for the Fire. Early free kick. Long setup here for Chicago. Lofted to the far side, headed up, knocked around, still loose. Complaints of a handball on Chicago's side as it's bicycled back into the box and scooped up. A little more than 3 minutes gone by. Both these teams with 24 matches played on the season. Monis, surrounded by defenders. Mija, this guy's got a huge leg between the sticks for Chicago. Not too often in Next Pro do you have two 25-year-old keepers on the pitch, and that's the case tonight with Mija. That's his nickname that he prefers to go by for Chicago, and Will Meyer for the Red Bulls. Red Bulls without A.J. Marcucci, their standout keeper for the second straight game after he underwent season-ending hamstring surgery. Into the box, Cabezas knocked away. Kendall Burks with outstanding defense for Chicago there against Cabezas, who makes his MLS Next Pro debut tonight. Phenomenal from Burks to slide over, but it results in a corner. Far side, punched out. Two teams with a very press-heavy style. As a foul called on Glasgow. Omar Valencia is also in the lineup for the Red Bulls tonight. He was active for the first team last night, but didn't play. Head around, ton of contact there, and the penalty, or the foul, pardon me, is on the Red Bulls. Take another look there. Some space, a push from behind, there's the foul call. Ludovic Tayandie is the head coach for Chicago, who crosses to the far side for Monis, too strong, and a goal kick coming up. Loose ball, Cabezas approaches one-on-one with the keeper. Shot and a goal. Easy score for Cabezas. Seven minutes into his next pro debut, Cabezas strikes. Off the blast of a goal kick from Will Meyer. And Cabezas wins the one-on-one and scores. Justin Reynolds, the defender there, but Cabezas the advantage. Cabezas played 14 minutes off the bench last night for the first team. He was loaned from the EFL Championship club Watford this month. That's an English second-tier team. He signed early in August, debuted for the first team last night, and now for some added minutes, makes his first second-team appearance. Monis, a huge collision. Draws the foul and now checks on his knee. And a yellow card is issued. Marie Durr is the referee tonight.
His first of the season, scored by number 9, Jorge Cabezas Hurtado. Assisted by number 97, Frank Sebufu. Goal scored in the 8th minute.
Frank Sebufu credited with the assist. Monis. That red card, or yellow card, excuse me, that yellow card issued to Juan Gutierrez for the Red Bulls. Still no Victor Becerra for Chicago. That's a big-time goal scorer out of the lineup. He had a team-high 8 goals last season in just 16 matches. He's battled a wealth of injuries this season. Monis on a long run, very nearly off sides. It's played away, and there comes the call. So Will Meyer with another goal kick. Big legs for both of these veteran keepers, 25 years old each. Rochester with the throw-in. All the way back to Mija. Out of play. Wow, hard ball right off the face of Purpa. Gee, and he's in pain in front of the opposing head coach. That was a really hard kick ball from very close into the head area of Purpa. That was tough. Jeez. maybe a foot apart and just absolutely rocketed off his head. They'll be sure to do a very thorough check of the 25-year-old out of Marquette. As he's sitting up. So Purple will get checked out. Team high 6 assists for Purpa. A goal in 3 straight games, too. Gutierrez with the long ball. A few stoppages early. We've already had a yellow card. That hard hit to Purpa as that rolls out of play for a goal kick. The Red Bulls can clinch tonight with a regulation win and then several other scenarios. A shootout win plus 2 or fewer points from Huntsville or Philadelphia as Monis knocked off of him right into the goal. Will Meyer tried to clear it and it hit right off of Monis for a goal. What a bizarre play. That's his 4th goal in the month of August. So goal kicks from Will Meyer have resulted in 1 goal for each team, basically. Meyer tried to clear it, and it hit off the chest area of Monis and right into the net. And that's the aforementioned big-time leg from Miha on the other side. He put it far enough up the pitch to create a situation where the opposing goalie had to try to clear it away. Now Monis on another long run, but that ball was intercepted. Foul committed. Back to the previous point, though. A regulation win for Chicago clinches a playoff spot, or 2 or fewer points, meaning a PK win or 1 point or a regulation loss. So a PK win, anything but a regulation win for either Huntsville or Philadelphia, in addition to a Chicago or a Red Bulls shootout win, would land the Red Bulls in the playoffs. There are a few scenarios, and we'll dive into that a little bit more as we roll along. But in the simplest terms, if the Red Bulls win this in regulation, they're in the playoffs. A lot of contact and the foul called on Justin Reynolds. So another free kick upcoming. Kasule's 31 in the red. 4th in the league in goals as a throw-in upcoming. This portion of the match is brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Here's Kasule. Taken away by Monis. Nosita with the breakup. He stands 6'8". Rochester in space. 2-on-2. Nosita defends that away to his keeper, Meyer, who launches it to the front half. And the delayed foul call. That seemed misfortune for the Red Bulls as much as anything, as the Fire players went airborne. Justin Reynolds in the action early and often tonight. Chicago with numbers. Crossed into the box, Glasgow can't find it. But that leads to a corner kick. Luca Perpa heads on over. Good to see him doing well after. If you're just joining us, he was a foot away from a Red Bull who kicked it right toward his neck head area at full speed. Honestly, pretty remarkable he didn't come up bloody from that. Perpa's corner to the back post, headed up, loose, kicked around, top of the box and out. Chicago with a beautiful opportunity there off a couple of ricochets. Here's Perpa again. Glasgow. A lot of back and forth in the early going. Now some space for Ronald Donkor and Kasule. Long ball, cross Donkor, shoots, and in the middle, knocked away. Chances galore in the early going. So much for that 0-0 matchup the first time around. Crossed in the box again, headed out, but settled by Carmona. Long shot and an easy gobble for Mija. Not enough pace on that from Carmona. And Mija clears it away. This is MLS Next Pro, second year of the league. Red Bulls coming over from USL, while Chicago a second-year team. 8th of 10 teams in the East last year, but an expanded year 2, and they're 6th in the East. Perpa redirects. Glasgow, turnover. Valencia finds Kasule. Back for Valencia. But Chicago with the takeaway. Ovante Mullings. Into the box, crossed. So back and forth early. Monis keeps it in play. Responsible for Chicago's goal. Javier Casas, 37 in the white. His third game back from a broken collarbone that cost him 2 months. Monis runs on the near side, but the pass across is late, but it goes in! 2-1 Chicago. A lot of bodies in the area. Billy Hensey was there. We'll see who gets credited with the goal. There's Monis. Hensey comes across, appears to hit his right foot, So Billy Hensey with his team-high 7th goal. Monas was open on the run on the near side. Didn't receive it initially, but then the late cross to Hensey as that was somewhat poorly defended in the middle. Hensey had a goal and an assist last time out. So consecutive game for the goal, and now 4 goals in his last 6.
By number 47, Billy Hensey, assisted by number 55, Amari Glasgow. New York Red Bulls 2-1, Chicago Fire 2-2.
Turnover. Carmona. Long shot, loose in the middle, a goal! Kasule. Ibrahim Kasule with his 14th of the year. That ties him for 3rd in the league. At this rate, first team to 10 wins. Carmona gives it off, gets it back, his shot deflects off a Fire defender and right over to Kasule for the easy finish.
Red Bulls 2, goal! Scored in the 24th minute by number 31, Ibrahim Kasule. Red Bulls 2, Chicago Fire 2.
Long ball for Monas off sides. Kasule has been the hottest player in the league the last couple of months. Now goals in 13 of the last 16. But despite all those goals, last game was actually his first brace of the year. This portion of the match brought to you by the Hospital for Special Surgery, the official hospital of the New York Red Bulls. Turnover. Doncor centers it. Poked out. Doncor crosses again. Mija punches it up. And Reynolds tracks that down for Chicago. Morejal in space, but intercepted by Mullings. Doncor sheds defenders, touches it into the box, and a turnover. Monas. Andres Uland is 64 in the white for Chicago. He's the captain of this Fire team. Uland's minutes have been limited of late as the Fire have had a couple of first-teamers down for second-team duties. Throw in for Chicago. And a foul committed, so another free kick coming up. This is Carmona. 43 MLS games played. Rifles it into the box, headed away. Still bumped around. Glasgow flips it up to himself. Cabezas long shot. Mija scoops it. Kasule. Give and go. Mullings, top of the box, keeps himself, still loose, and a goal kick. Tough angle shot for Donkor as that ball was bouncing around. Philadelphia right now trails 1-0 against New England. One of the criteria for if the Red Bulls were to win in a shootout tonight would be that Philadelphia does not win in regulation. So anything but a regulation for Philadelphia coupled with a Red Bulls shootout win would also mean a playoff spot. Again, the simplest case is just win in regulation if you're the Red Bulls. Headed from the backside, Mija touches it just off the goal line. Not sure if he made contact with Cabezas there or just shanked that goal kick. It was a little off balance. He didn't let Cabezas clear the space. And Cabezas just spills on his own on the turf. And Cabezas Hurtado loaned this month to the Red Bulls. Numbers again. And Mija grabs that on the long shot. Turnover. Sabufu. Top of the box, Cabezas again, one-on-one. Burks defends and clears. Tyundie says Chicago needs to be really compact defensively against this high-powered Red Bulls attack. That's filled with some really good individual talents, particularly when you consider the additions of Cabezas and Carmona tonight. And the presence of Kendall Burks really helps with that defensively. Burks an 11th overall pick last year. Delayed call there. Wyatt Ohmsberg is back with the first team. He played 4 Next Pro matches this month while recovering from injury. But the 27-year-old back with the first team. That's one of those guys who had cut into Andres Yulin's minutes. So no Ohmsberg tonight. Yulin here. A sidewinder right over to Carmona. But Glasgow touches back for his keeper. Mullings heads along for Kasule. Top of the box. The Red Bulls, despite the 2-1 deficit that then equalized on the Kasule goal, have clearly been the aggressor since tying it at 2-2. You could argue the first Chicago goal was a little fluky because it directed, it was a attempted clear as Donkor, top of the box. Cabezas shot off the crossbar. Case in point here on the Red Bulls' dominance as Rochester bicycles that out, but Mullings now controls. And Donkor fakes the cross, slides in at the 6, kicked away. Now Mullings boxes out and it's a throw-in. But back to that point, the first Chicago goal was scored when the keeper Meyer kicked it off of Monis. Meyer was attempting to kick it into the front half, and it hit the body of Monas and went into the net. And then the second goal was somewhat of poor central defense by the Red Bulls. Here's another look at that crossbar shot. Sheesh, this Cabezas is a big-time addition for the Red Bulls organization. Loaned from Watford in the EFL this month. Debuted last night with the first team. Scored 7 minutes into his second team debut tonight. Sabufu, or rather that was Bento Estrella, 91 in the red. Long ball headed to the side, and another throw-in coming up. Mullings crosses to the back post, still loose. Sabufu kicked around and cleared. Mullings, 22 yards out, kicks it, still loose in the middle. Fire running for their lives defensively right now. Almost 10 minutes to half. Monas headed up into the middle. Nosita, the Navy product. Here's Estrella. Chicago with a counter opportunity. Orejal centers for Monas. He tried to recenter it. Chicago with what feels like its first push in about 10 minutes. Rochester, the 20-year-old Jamaican on the restart. Javier Casas. Maybe a delayed foul call. Monas slices it into the middle and cleared. No foul call. Wasn't sure if they would call the foul after the opportunity had concluded for Chicago. Is Javier Casas still laboring a little bit on the bottom of your screen. You can see him there trying to shake it off, 37 in white on the bottom left corner. It seemed he had a little bit of a collision as he passed it away to Monas. Glasgow tangled up with Carmona. Foul called on the Red Bulls. A lot of chatter going on now. Restart for Chicago. 6th place in the East. Mija bounces that along for Glasgow. Heavy contact on Cabezas and the foul call. Cabezas and Kasule on the goals for the Red Bulls. Billy Hensey and Alex Monis on the goals for Chicago. Maybe Chicago has just survived that really frantic pressure from the Red Bulls the last 10 or 15 minutes. As Mullings lets that skip out of bounds. Along the far touchline, Kasule. His pass back taken from Monis. He's 1-on-3, accelerates through 3, but Nosita throws it back to his keeper. 25-year-old Will Meyer, who played for Akron and Louisville. Matt Nosita, 3-time Patriot League Defensive Player of the Year at Navy. Mija. And out of play. FC Cincinnati up 2-0 on NYC. New England leading Philadelphia 1-0. Cabezas. His pass right back to him. Now into the middle of the pitch, and a foul call. The Earthquakes lead St. Louis 1-0. Orlando and Columbus tied 0-0. Huntsville's up 1-0 on Inter Miami. Galaxy 2 leads the Dynamo 1-0. Orehel helped up. Back for Mija. Serbian keeper has been busy early. Dangerous pass here. And a steal. Right back to Chicago and right back to Doncor. Along the end line. And a goal kick. Mija strikes that to the far side. Glasgow's had some touches on the back end, but all things considered, he's been a little quiet at times, although actually did assist the second goal for the Fire. Rochester, somewhat of a kick save from his teammate to keep it in play. Red Bulls on the end line. That hook pass. Yulin steals it. Good positioning. Orehal. Now Rochester. Crosses and a good dive by Meyer. That would not have gone in, but what he did was stop it in case there had been a Fire player on the far side of him from pushing it into an empty net. Solid crowd for Next Pro action in Montclair, New Jersey. Reynolds. And a turnover. Kasule, not the guy you want to give it to. a Fire player is down about 30 yards out. Not quite sure what happened there. We'll see if we can get another look. It does appear to be Casas down again, though. There's ooh, non-contact. You hope for his sake that that's a cramp or something of the sort. Encouraging signs so far, but you hate to see someone just stop unprompted like that. As he trots off. He might be subbed out here to avoid the... Well, that's Purpo who's on the sideline just getting some water, but they'd have to play 3 minutes without Casas here due to the off-field treatment rule. This isn't a situation where you want 11 on 10. Casas just his third game back from injury. Missed 2 months with a broken collarbone. Alan Rodriguez was just walking along the sideline. You have to wonder if he'll check in, and that he does. Good management there by Ludovic Taillandier. You can't afford to be a man down at the end of this half with how potent the Red Bulls have looked tonight. You avoid the 3 minutes of off-field treatment there with that substitution. Top of the box, Doncourt, stop and start, shot off the post, another try. That was an odd angle from our vantage point. Let's take another look here. Hard to believe that one didn't go in. Obviously it didn't because nobody reacted, but yeah, from this vantage point, our positioning, you saw the strong shot in a lot of open space, but just too far to the right. 4 minutes of stoppage. Doncourt again couldn't corral that, now fights for it. Contact both ways, and the foul on Doncourt. And that type of skill for the Red Bulls is exactly why you couldn't afford the off-field treatment for Casas. You just hope he's okay. That non-contact, hard not to be a little concerned when we first saw the replay, but he appeared to at least start to move a lot better after a handful of seconds of treatment. Monis taken away. And another foul call. Back to Meyer. Flares that for Monis. His header goes errant. Pass from the ground, but Yulin takes it and gives back to his keeper. Long bouncer for Glasgow, who's hip checked. No foul call there. Play continues. Kasule. Dakor wrestled down. Gutierrez. Sabufu throws it to nobody in particular, and a hard trip. And that will result in a yellow.
Your attention, please. A yellow card has been assessed. The New York Red Bulls 2, number 31, Ibrahim Kasule in the 45th minute.
That's on Kasule. Deep into the Red Bulls end where Nosita, a little stuck there, uses the box out strategy to land the goal kick. And it's halftime. 2-2. Our score at the half, 2-2. The league's top team in the West, Colorado Rapids 2. Made rapid improvements in this turnaround from last season. Michelle had a chance to catch up with Rapids head coach Eric Boucher.
And Summer is
having one, Diego Rubio! We're back in the mix, a second header, and there's a second goal. It is Cabral. 11 on the season for Remy Cabral, and Colorado leads 2-0.
I am absolutely thrilled to be joined by the coach atop the West, Eric Boucher. Eric, thank you for sitting down with us.
Certainly welcome.
Now, you and I met many moons ago. There's been a drastic change for your club between when we first met and now here we are in season 2.
True.
What do you attribute that to?
And probably not possible to put a finger on one thing. If I could, I'd bottle it up and try to make something from it. But we had to learn a lot last year. We had to suffer a lot, to be fair, last year in a soccer sense. And it's interesting, I read something this morning, no kidding, that was about the struggle and what it can mean for you and how it's necessary. And we had to do plenty of that last season. So I think that carries over into what we try to create this season. We obviously had a much better lead in this year, more organization, more preparation in terms of our preseason and even developing our roster. And so that was significant. In fairness to the guys who are helping us get the success this year, we've brought in some good personalities and good soccer players, you know, and I don't think it's possible to win without personality in the group. We have a few guys that fit into that in a pretty positive way. Remy Cabral has been really a wonderful addition. But it's hard to go again into individuals. The guys have come together quite well, and that is probably the biggest reason why we're getting some success.
Off the post and it goes in! An early goal for Colorado Rapids 2.
Part of your job is managing all of those personalities. How do you navigate the intricacies of a locker room where you're sometimes starting academy players over contracted professionals?
Well, a contract or the size of it doesn't necessarily depict the player. And we have good players, amateur and pro alike. I think the guys have an understanding also that we have different goals or multiple goals within our program and within our team. And again, that's part of what has so far made the team special. When guys see that they can win with different players on the field, they can still be supportive of the guys who are doing the job. So it's been a good mix. And to be fair, the players deserve a lion's share of the credit. They have to be the ones who are flexible.
You guys are winning, but at the end of the day, this is also a development league. So how much emphasis is put on bringing back a trophy versus getting these guys up to the first team and beyond?
A lot. Not so much the trophy, but every game we discuss winning. I think that's what players would rather have a focus on getting 3 points on the weekend than just talking about development every day. We're still pushing the players to move up levels. We still want guys to get in the first team. And yes, that is the major focus. But to make such a clear distinction between that and winning is just not something that I believe in, because I think they're best if they go hand in hand.
We're a little over halfway through the season. What's been your favorite thing so far this year?
It's been wonderful to see players and staff, I would add, believe in what we're doing, gain confidence, from that belief, and then enjoy their work. When you see people happy, when they're motivated to come into the work environment, a lot of good can come from that. I know there's an elite component and then the individual player component, but I really enjoy the aspect of seeing people smiling at work and willing to get after it every day. That's a part of who we are.
Well, hopefully the smiling continues for the rest of this season. Thank you so much for sitting down with me and for hopefully what is to come, a great rest of the season for you.
Thank you, Michelle.
New England joined Crown Legacy and Colorado as teams entered the playoffs last weekend. Michelle and Samara have more to recap the Matchday Rewind.
Another week of MLS Next Pro action, another step closer to finding out who's playing in the postseason. Alongside Samara, I'm Michelle with your Matchday 23 Rewind.
We start in New England, where Revs 2 joined Crown Legacy FC and Rapids 2 as the third team to clinch a playoff spot. They were scoreless against Toronto FC 2 after 90 minutes, but Clint PA's side ended up winning the shootout 4-1 to secure 2 points and, more importantly, a playoff spot.
Staying in the Eastern Conference, right behind Revs 2 in the standings, Columbus Crew 2. Facing their in-state rival, FC Cincinnati 2, the Cappies saw 5 different players find the back of the net. One of those 5 was Patrick Buhi, who scored in his Crew 2 debut. Now the reigning MLS Next Pro champs are one step closer to clinching the playoffs, as are Huntsville City FC. Jack Collison's side made their way just above the playoff line following a timely 5-2 win over Union 2. The outstanding team effort extended their unbeaten home streak to 3 as we take a look at what is a very tight playoff race in the East. There could be a lot of movement within the playoff pecking order in the coming weeks.
Moving out to the Western Conference, Austin FC 2 are currently tied in second and close to clinching a playoff spot, but they'll have to wait at least another week as they were tied at 1 at the end of regulation with Whitecaps FC 2, but ultimately ended up losing the shootout 4-3. And now, just 3 points below them in the standings is Tacoma Defiance, who also found themselves tied at the end of regulation. However, they were able to defeat North Texas SC 6-5 in kicks from the penalty mark. Here's how the standings currently look in the West. As you can see, a couple of teams are close to punching their ticket, and then there are some who'll be looking over their shoulder for the remaining weeks.
One more shootout coming at you from the match day. This one courtesy of a stoppage time goal from Matthew Myers. He pulled NYCFC 2 level with Chicago Fire 2 at 2 goals apiece at the end of regulation to force the shootout. Fire 2 went on to win the extra point on 5 kicks to 4, but still a late goal by Myers puts him in sole first in the Golden Boot race with 16 goals on the season. As you can see, the race is heating up as we go down the stretch.
There's still a lot to be determined as we enter match day 24 of the regular season. Michelle and I will see you back here with the latest drama leading to the playoffs.
And here was the very best from match day 23 as Michelle has this week's spotlight.
MLS Next Pro's Match Day 23 features a new set of faces in the spotlight. I'm Michelle Montaigne with the stars that shined brightest this match day. Starting with your MLS Next rising star of Match Day 23, LA Galaxy 2's Riley Delgado. The 17-year-old defender helped his side to a clean sheet against Real Monarchs and successfully converted his kick from the spot in the shootout, helping Galaxy 2 to a historic 10-9 shootout win to keep their playoff hopes alive. But the stars were also shining bright over there on the East Coast. None brighter than Huntsville City FC's Azad Liati, who is your player of Match Day 23. With his 3-goal performance against Union 2, Liati recorded the first hat trick in club history. He extended his team best goal total to 11, becoming the first player to double digits for his team this season. But despite his individual success, he was still focused on the team after the game.
For me, it's always special to score a hat trick, but first and foremost, we're happy to get the result. I mean, Jet is coming in that every game from here on out, it's a cup final, so 1 down, 5 more to go, and that's how we're looking at it to make the playoffs.
Also finding the back of the net this week, our best goal of the match day winner, St. Louis City 2's John Klein. The goal-scoring machine extended his streak to 4 straight games with his brace this week against Timbers 2. This shot made its way through the box, bouncing off defenders and attacking players alike before it found its way to the foot of Klein, who lasered it through traffic and into the back of the net. And while Best Goal nominee Useni Buddha didn't win the individual award, his team, Quakes 2, is walking away as our best team of Match Day 23. Now, Buddha did open the scoring for Quakes 2 before the side let Dynamo Dos score 3 unanswered to take a 3-1 lead into the half. But the second 45 was all San Jose as Quakes 2 mounted a 3-goal comeback to ultimately take a 4-3 victory. The decisive match allowed the team of the match day to leapfrog Houston in the table and climb to 5th in the West. Congratulations to all of our honorees in the spotlight this week. As the playoff push continues, the performances continue to rise. Excited to see who stands out on match day 24.
And Friday, the biggest result came in Texas, where Austin FC hosted Sporting Kansas City. Here are those highlights.
Kip Keller returns. The 22-year-old center back will replace the youngster Anthony Deonda and SKC, the only remaining players from that 1-0 win over Minnesota. Another in-swinger from Toure. Good depth on this one. It's headed in. Duke. For Hernandez, he lays this off, the shot comes on, it's in! And what a strike that is! It's their second of the game. This one's whipped in, the flick header's in the corner! Kilo to Shandret scores! Right through the middle, Hafferty for Burton, and it's cleared away. And that is it! Just the second team to come to Austin and come away with 3 points. Sporting Kansas City 2 get the job done.
2-2 at the half, Chicago and New York. A lot on the line in this second half. We've got 2 teams in the thick of the playoff race, a team in New York that can clinch, and a team in Chicago that is trying to stay in the playoff positioning right now. Look ahead at the schedule here. And we'll take a look at a very, very chaotic first half. So here was a goal kick from Will Meyer. And then that big-time header from Sabufu that Cabezas capitalized on with an awesome one-on-one. Then we had Meyer try to clear it. So very similar to the way he set up a goal, he allowed a goal by kicking it right off of Alex Moniz. Here was Glasgow. You'll see Moniz open on the near side. It's kind of who I thought it was intended to at first, but it seemed to hit a defender, and then Billy Hensey punched it home. And then here, Carmona, another ball that goes off of a defender. And Kasule cleans it up. That 55% possession feels really deceiving. Just look at the shots. New York had probably a 15-minute stretch where it stayed in the final third of Chicago. Maybe not every second of a 15-minute stretch, but certainly for about 13 or 14 of those 15 minutes. There's no questioning who was the better team in the first half tonight. FC Cincinnati leads NYFC 2-0. New England up 2-0 on Philadelphia. San Jose up 1-0 on St. Louis. Orlando up 1-0 on Columbus. The Red Bulls and Chicago tied 2-2. Huntsville and Inter Miami tied 1-1. In the second half underway from Montclair, New Jersey, home of Red Bulls 2 against Chicago Fire 2. Eric Duoc with you for MLS Next Pro action. 2-2 at the half. A regulation win, and the Red Bulls clinch a playoff berth in their first year in MLS Next Pro. Chicago in the white, New York in the red. Carmona, who played 6 minutes last night with the first team against Messi's Inter Miami. A 2-0 Red Bulls loss. Matt Nocita, the Navy product. And Glasgow, who has an early assist. 55 in the white, but a turnover. As you saw in the first half, it was very eventful for Will Meyer with a goal kick that led to a header and then a goal. And then he had an attempted clear that deflected off of Alex Moniz for Chicago and resulted in a goal. A lot of space. Cabezas, long shot blocked. Mija. Cabezas scored the first goal tonight. He played 14 minutes last night against Inter Miami with the first team in his MLS debut. Tonight marks Cabezas' his MLS Next Pro debut. He scored just 7 minutes in. And a throw in on the far side. Cabezas loaned from EFL Championship club Watford this month. Doncor. Long cross near post, headed in! Goal, Red Bulls! Frank Sabufu. A goal and an assist as the Red Bulls look to clinch a playoff berth. 3-2 New York early in the second half. Beautiful cross right past Miha. Sabufu had the go-ahead goal in the 28th minute last time out in an eventual 4-2 win against Atlanta. Tonight, the go-ahead in the 47th minute. That's now a goal for Sabufu in 3 straight, and in 2 of the last 3, the 21-year-old from Uganda has had both a goal and an assist. Here's Sabufu again, 4-on-2. He accelerates, passes to the middle, and another goal, Carmona! It's all Frank Sabufu. "4-2 Red Bulls." A regulation win, and New York clinches a playoff berth in its first year of MLS Next Pro. Carmona slides over to the right, left foots it home. That's his 7th Next Pro goal in just 9 games. Wiki Carmona, a ton of first team experience, 43 games played, 2 goals, 1 assist, 6 minutes last night for the Red Bulls with the first team, getting a little more action tonight with the second team. The 20-year-old from Venezuela makes it 4-2 Red Bulls. That's 3 unanswered goals.
Red Bulls 2, goal! Scored in the 49th minute
Miha's just
by
been
number
under
19,
attack all night.
Carmona. Assisted by number 97 for Sabufu. Red Bulls 2, scored.
Glasgow with space. Top of the box deflected right into the lap of Meyer. He throws along for Valencia. He was with the first team last night, active but didn't play. Turnover. Rodriguez. Top of the box, touched along, still loose, and a clear for the Red Bulls. On Rodriguez again. Monis. He scored in the first half, and it's twirled out of play. Rodriguez faked the shot. Crossed along for Reynolds. A lot of velocity on that pass to the far side. Reynolds had the winning PK in the shootout last time out. It's cleared. Knocked around, shot save, Meyer. The 25-year-old in his second Next Pro game. Meyer was the 38th overall pick to Nashville last year. He was active for several games with the first team, but didn't play as Glasgow's fouled, and now Meyer finds opportunity with standout keeper A.J. Marcucci out for the second game after he underwent season-ending hamstring surgery. There's a yellow card issued to Valencia. The Red Bulls, an Eastern Conference best, 30 goals allowed, but now they have to do it without Marcucci, who's second in the league in goals allowed against, goals against average, third in save percentage, and second in clean sheets. So a huge task for Meyer as the Red Bulls look to clinch a playoff berth tonight. Free kick after the Valencia yellow. Rahal fakes. Far post, headed. Goal! It's the captain, Andres Juland. 6'5" from Norway. That height pays off. Meyer, no chance. We talked in the first half how Juland, just 17 minutes combined the last 3 games, with Wyatt Olmsberg coming down from the first team in his injury recovery. You've had Kendall Burks down from the first team. So the captain forced to the bench, but now capitalizing on just his first start in the last 4 games. And a foul committed. That's the first next pro goal for Andres Juland.
Assisted by number 49, Luka Purpa. Red Bulls 2 for Chicago Fire 2.
Luka Purpa with his team-high 7th assist. Chicago right back in it. 6th in the Eastern Conference, 37 points. They're 4 points ahead of the 8th place team, Philadelphia, but Philadelphia's played 1 less game. Another foul committed. On the flip side of that, Chicago, any points in it, moves up to 5th because Chicago and Orlando both have 37 points, but Orlando has more regulation wins. Glasgow into the box, touched away, Meyer blocks it. Chicago, great response to those 2 early second half goals for the Red Bulls. Will Meyer on the free kick. 2 goals allowed and 2 saves in his debut last time out. That 4-2 win against Atlanta. Matt Nocita, 6'8". 3-time Patriot League Defensive Player of the Year at Navy. Reynolds circles around. Glasgow. Loose ball almost to the foot of Purpa. Now space. Donkor. Stop and start. Maneuvers inside. Mullings. Cabezas on the far side. And out of play. Red Bulls keeper A.J. Marcucci suffered that season-ending hamstring injury with just 17 minutes left in a shutout victory against Columbus 2 games ago. The Red Bulls defeated now 3rd place Columbus 5-0. Marcucci was phenomenal in that contest, but suffered the season-ending hamstring injury. So this Red Bulls team that leads the East in fewest goals conceded needs some help from its backups to win the title. Sabufu stutters, touches into the middle, and punched out. Uland is down in the box. Now up. Valencia crosses. Touched, still loose, and Mija grabs. Sabufu, touch back, loose ball, Kasule, and a foul committed. Free kick. New York has a couple of substitutions coming up. 58 minutes in, MLS Next Pro action. A couple of teams with a playoff spot if the season were to end today. Kasule tied for second in the league in goals, including one in the first half. Lofts it. And out for a goal kick. No, it's a corner. Kasule with 14 goals on the year, and now a goal in 13 of the last 16 with 4 assists in that span. Long shot punched out, but sent back into the goal. It's Kasule again. Now second outright with 15 goals. Gutierrez put it on net, and Kasule on the rebound. Just wild. 15 goals for Kasule. But didn't have a brace until last game, and now he does it twice in a row. Red Bulls, just incredible. 4+ goals each of the last 3 games. Now 5 goals in 2 of the last 3. Before that, one of the lowest scoring teams in the league. With the way Kasule's been playing, and then you get some of these first teamers coming down the last few matches, the Red Bulls suddenly look as hot as any team in the league.
Red Bulls 2, 5, Chicago Fire 2. Part 3.
See if Chicago has a response.
Your attention, please. Substitution for your New York Red Bulls 2 in the 60th minute. Entering the match, number 77, Shapiro
Throw it
Thompson.
away. Amos Shapiro Thompson entering for New York. Also Mohamed Sofo,
entering the match, number 37, Mohamed Sofo.
Jorge Cabezas, and Bento Estrella depart for the Red Bulls. And a big playoff result, or a big result with playoff implications, that is, Philadelphia is just moments away from a 3-0 loss to Revs 2. New England second place in the East right now, but the reason that's significant is because Philadelphia is in 8th in the Eastern Conference, so that will give Chicago, who is 6th in the East, a little bit more breathing room. And plus, if Chicago, top of the box, if Chicago were to come back and tie this and send it to PKs, the Philadelphia loss means that all the Red Bulls have to do is win in PKs to secure a playoff spot. Now, a regulation win and no other results matter, the Red Bulls are in. Win in regulation, Red Bulls are in. And a PK win, Red Bulls would also be in because of that Philadelphia loss that is just moments away. New England leading 3-0 in stoppage time. Frank Sabufu. Long pass intercepted. Now Kasule. Touches along. It's loose. Doncor passes back. And a goal kick upcoming. This has been more incredible offense than poor goalkeeping from Mija. Just the numbers in the box have been sensational for the Red Bulls all night. Carmona. Doncor. Long cross, too far. And a throw in for Chicago. This is a Chicago team with 2+ points in each of the last 5 matches, meaning either a regulation or PK win. Chicago last lost at Orlando, 3-2, July 23rd. This portion of the match is brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Eric Duick with you, MLS Next Pro. Chicago and New York. Long pass for Glasgow. He settles 20 yards out. And a throw in. Kendall Burks, a national runner-up a couple years ago at the University of Washington. Later, an 11th overall pick as he touches again. Reynolds. Give and go. Perpa. It's another throw in. The 25-year-old from Marquette. Glasgow, just off the end line. Crosses, no, late whistle. That did look to be the right call. It was just a little bit delayed. These Eastern Conference playoffs will be so fun. A little less than a month from decision day. You've got the Red Bulls right now, who were excellent all year defensively, but one of the weaker teams offensively, and we're still winning despite that. But now that the offense has come around, look out. Glasgow, the 19-year-old from Guyana. Back for Reynolds. And a foul. momentarily. Noah Egan will check in for Chicago and replace Alan Rodriguez, who only entered in the last few minutes of the first half due to the injury to Javier Casas. Frank Sabufu. Shapiro Thompson with a giveaway. Reynolds stays in, and no. Hensey lost it out. Hensey scored in the first half. And here's that sub. Noah Egan, the 22-year-old from Irvine, California. Just 1 minute played in the last 3 matches. But he enters with Chicago looking to hold on to a playoff spot. Egan, the 64th overall pick this year out of Vermont. Reynolds, turnover, Sabufu, finds Valencia. He races along the near side, but Kendall Burks pushes it out. Ibrahim Sekaija on the bottom middle of your screen. Sekaija was named the interim head coach in July of last season, then officially named the head coach February 6th of this year. Shapiro Thompson. Carmona wiggles through traffic. Grabs a hold and commits a foul. Sekaija, former Ugandan national team captain. He was a Red Bulls assistant for 8 years before being named head coach. Doncor possesses. There's no Sita. No foul call there. Kasule. Sabufu. Top of the box fires, and it's punched away. Corner kick for the Red Bulls. Plenty of hang time, no Sita header. It's loose and cleared. Chicago with possession in the white. And a throw in. Sabufu with tackle, and now he wrestles down Justin Reynolds. Reynolds. Perpa. Chicago in the final third. And a foul call. This portion of the match is brought to you by Hospital for Special Surgery, the official hospital of the New York Red Bulls. Big free kick here for Chicago.
Oh, we dropping the flag! On the way! Frank, hold your position first, though. Go behind Amos.
About 15 minutes to go. Chicago trails 5-3 with the free kick. Rifled into the box. That deflected off of a Red Bull, so we'll have a corner kick. Lofted to the back post. Meyer punches it out. It's still loose. Shot, goal! Noah Egan into the game. Just 1 minute played in the last 3 matches. And he pulls the Fire within a goal. The 64th overall pick comes up big off the bench. Three-time first team America All-East.
Chicago Fire 2 goals.
Out of Vermont, just a beautiful goal there.
Noah Egan. Here Red Bulls 2-5.
Carmona.
Fire 2-4.
Kasule takes a couple of times. Carmona, long cross, back post over the goal. Chicago 6th place in the East, the Red Bulls 4th in the East. Loose in the middle, Carmona chests it to himself, fires well errant. This is a loaded Eastern Conference. The Red Bulls, 3 straight games with 4+ goals. 4th place in the Eastern Conference. Chicago Fire 6th in the East. They've been red hot. 2+ points in each of their last 5 games. So I was talking about earlier how deep these Eastern Conference playoffs are. You got New England, who's as hot as any team in the league right now, won 3-0 earlier tonight. Crown had owned the Eastern Conference for the first 2/3 of the year. Orlando has been, there's just a lot of ebbing and flowing with a league that has so much roster fluidity, but at any given point, the top 5 or 6 teams in the Eastern Conference have looked like the best team in the conference at one point or another. It'll be a really fun postseason. Match decision day, I should say, September 24th. Along the touchline. The Red Bulls clinch a playoff spot with a regulation win. It's hard to envision a regulation loss at this point for the Red Bulls. So if it gets to PKs and the Red Bulls win in PKs, then New York would still clinch because of the fact that Philadelphia lost tonight as the fouls committed. And who am I to say that a regulation loss, although it doesn't appear likely, just based on the fact that there's 12 minutes before stoppage time and they'd need to allow 2 goals, this game's had enough goals for that to be within the realm of possibility. Kasule on the counter. New York looks to eat some clock. Osita bumps it to himself and kicks it out to force the throw in. Justin Reynolds. That deflected off of a Red Bull, so we've got another corner.
Be ready, here.
80 minutes expired. To the far post again. Meyer taps it up, headed around. Still loose, and Meyer soars for the grab. Noah Egan was in the mix again off the corner kick. It's headed back, then Nosita heads it back. Box out. Sabufu off a long pass, releases. Doncourt's pass wide, Egan along the goal line, kicks it off his teammate. Carmona charges in. Sabufu's long shot grabbed and cleared. Glasgow on a long run against the former 7th overall pick, Matt Nosita. And the throw in for New York. Glasgow irate. He thought he was fouled. A couple of Chicago substitutes coming up. Justin Reynolds set to depart. Misael Rodriguez will check in for Chicago. Yellow card on Frank Sabufu.
Your attention, please. A yellow card has been sent to New York Red Bulls to number 97, Frank Sabufu, in the 83rd minute.
Jake Futterer checking in for Lamont Rochester for Chicago. And Misael Rodriguez comes in while Justin Reynolds departs.
Substitution for the Chicago Fire, 2 in the 83rd minute. Entering the match, number 32, Misael Rodriguez. Exiting the match, number 36, Justin Reynolds. Also entering the match, number 53, Jake Futterer. Exiting the match, number 54, Lamont Rochester.
Top of the box, headed out. No foul call. Carmona stops. Maneuvers inside. Valencia, 20 yards out, long cross, back post, too strong. Miha. Into the middle. And it's back to New York. So barring a goal here, Chicago likely to fall to 7th in the Eastern Conference, because Huntsville, who's 2 points behind, is headed up. Miha collects. Huntsville leads Inter Miami 2-1 right now in the 83rd minute. So that would move them to 6th and Chicago to 7th. But fortunately for Chicago, 8th place Philadelphia lost tonight. It's a goal kick. Ronald Donkor checking out for the Red Bulls. He's been really active tonight. Dylan Sullivan.
Entering the match, number 46, Dylan Sullivan. Exiting the match, number 48, Ronald Donkor.
Dylan Sullivan was inactive last game. He had started 2 of the previous 3 games. So Dylan Sullivan, who won a national championship at Clemson in 2021, checks in for the Red Bulls, and his squad defeated Kendall Burks' Washington team, and Burks plays for Chicago. Red Bulls clear it away. Pretty stunning result in the Western Conference right now. Galaxy 2, who's in 13th place in the West, leads 6th place Houston 3-0. Not sure what the lineup looks like tonight for Houston, but 6th place team losing to a 13th place team, that's one thing, but 3-0 is really surprising in the Western Conference right now. That's in the 83rd minute. It's Houston trying to hang on to its playoff spot. Glasgow. Carmona on the counter. Shapiro Thompson, plenty of room. Dribbles it along to the far side. Turnover, Kasule in search of a hat trick, 2-on-3. Kasule again, leaves Carmona. He hesitates, fires blocked. Shapiro Thompson now for Kasule. Second in the league with 15 goals, looking to ice it with an insurance goal. Carmona. Gutierrez. Intercepted. But right back to the Red Bulls. Valencia. Sofo dances around. Shapiro Thompson. Keep you posted on stoppage time. Red Bulls moments from clinching a playoff berth. After New York was 3-25-6 in the USL Championship last year. That was the worst record in the USL. They allowed 76 goals. That was the third worst. And here we are with a new league, a largely new roster, and the Red Bulls are the best in the East in terms of goals conceded, albeit a dent in that tonight with 4 goals for Chicago, but you'll take it in a victory. Just 3 minutes of stoppage time to be tacked on here.
Your attention, please. The fourth official on the side has indicated there will be a minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time in the second half.
And that Houston result I mentioned out west is big. That now Houston just really has to grasp onto that playoff berth. Houston is now 6th, but St. Louis, if current scores hold, would also have 37 points. Houston would have the tiebreaker, but both those teams would have 37 points. And then you've got Minnesota in 8th in the conference with 36 points. So that's a big unexpected loss from Houston tonight against the second to last place team. Chicago, throw in. Long pass for Omari Glasgow. He leaves ahead, but it's broken up. A duel coming up, Glasgow. Valencia deep in his end. Sidewinds it. Burks heads it back. Out of play. That should be a throw-in for Chicago, and it is. Perpa. Glasgow into the box. Nocita. Dribbles around, kicks it away to force the throw-in. Give and go with Glasgow turnover. Kick deep over to Mija. Let's see if he joins the charge. Monis. High into the box. Burke settles. A lot of contact. Play continues. Burks again for Glasgow. He curls it. It's headed over. Gorgeous opportunity. Massive spin on that, and it's headed just over the goal. Will Meyer in the final seconds. Foul called. It's likely the last action of the contest. And a yellow card. And that's second and a red for Valencia. And that's a huge deal because of upcoming suspension now. Fortunately for New York, they're about to clinch a playoff spot, but that's a pretty silly way to pick up a red. The 11 on 10, though, barring an immediate interception and goal, there's no way Chicago can tie this. I mean, we're already well past 3 minutes. Headed up. Kasule. You got to kick it all the way up. Nope, that's it. The Red Bulls clinch a playoff spot in their first year of MLS Next Pro. From worst in the USL a year ago to the playoffs in their first year of MLS Next Pro action. 5-4 New York.
5, Chicago Fire 2-4.
And a lot of it is thanks to Ibrahim Kasule. Back-to-back braces. 15 goals on the year, second in the league. Here's his first, right past Mija. Goals in 13 of his last 16 consecutive braces, and this was early in the second half. Ibrahim Kasule of the New York Red Bulls is tonight's man of the match, presented by Adidas. 5-4 Red Bulls. Stay tuned to MLS Next Pro action with MLS Season Pass on Apple TV, also MLSNextPro.com for our entire team. I'm Eric Duick, so long from Montclair, New Jersey. 5-4 Red Bulls, clinching a playoff spot in their first year of MLS Next Pro.
This copyrighted broadcast of MLS Next Pro may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcasted without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.